A fourth protocol that we correct in neural organization technique is learning disabilities and dyslexia. Many people believe it is something genetic or something you're just born with or you just get, or they don't know the answers, so we medicate or we try extra hard to explain to the children and teach them with different techniques. Our approach is to take a look, is there some disorganization with advanced circuits? I've already explained about the primitive circuits of defense, digestion, and reproduction. But what we've also unearthed in our research is that this 29 bones that make up the skull and are protecting the brain inside can get affected in various ways from traumas that stops the pumping action in various areas of the brain depending on where the force of the trauma came in. And what it does now is starts interfering with some of our learned functions. When we're born with defense, digestion, and reproduction. After that, the baby starts to activate reflexes. It starts tracking sounds and learning how to turn its neck towards the sound. So this is an auditory processing reflex. It starts to track things with its eyes so it can actually see. Grasping reflexes start when it starts reaching for things. These were not just put into your system, you learned these. Balance, you spent months going from 4 legs to 2 legs. There's an important reason for that. But when we take a trauma and go into neural disorganization, certain of these functions can become disorganized, and so now the animal has a hard time learning. This is why we call them learning disabilities. It does not mean the child or the adult is stupid. It means that they have a difficulty. So our approach is to say, let's see if we can reset the switches, and we found that we are able to reset a lot of these learning disabilities. Dyslexia is actually a group of symptoms or a group of difficulties. So we don't like to label them. What we want to do is check individual. How is the auditory processing reflex? If it's not working, we correct it. There's many people show up with a particular reflex, which is that how we take in visual information and record it into the brain. So later we can say, I read this book and it was about this. Many people, when they've sustained a cranial trauma, will not have this functioning, and they don't want to tell other people about it. But really, they read and they don't remember what they're reading. This will also have an effect on their emotional status, because you never go out in the jungle and say, hey everybody, I can't read, I'm not good at this. You don't advertise what you're not good at. You only go out for the brains or the bravado. You show what you're really good at. And what we like to do is make sure all the circuits are on. Then if there's still a problem, we can say, okay, now let's do some catch-up by doing particular training exercises or going to particular learning schools where they focus on how do you catch up with your learning faults. But none of this will work very effectively, and I've worked on many people around the world who've taken their children to classes, and they say, oh, they've made 1% improvement in the past month, and this is hailed as a success. When really it would work a lot smoother and a lot faster if we first reset the switches and then began the classes, and they might see 80% success within 2 weeks, which is a true success.